Hello, my name's Jim, and I'm just going to be doing a walkthrough of how a user would use the software I made for my Sinatra portfolio project. First off, it's a library cataloging software called Opus that I made. It's basically just a way, it's sort of like a miniature Goodreads to keep track of all the books in your library and who has, who's read them, who hasn't, and whether you've read them or not. Who owns what, etc. So let's go ahead and create. There's a couple users there right now. Let's go ahead and create a new user. So let's say, just gonna do all this for sample stuff. User at gmail.com. Just gonna make this new user password. So this isn't super, I would never make a password like that in real life, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So here, this is the name of the new user. So it's, in this case, it's new user. There's a list of actions you can take, different things you can look at. First, let's log out and log in again as new user. So you log out. You can't access any of those things without logging in. So books. Let's do this here. So log in. Say you wanted to do like authors. You can't access anything without logging in. So let's log in here. So new user at gmail.com and new user password. Cool, so we're logged back in. And now you can go to all those things like books, authors. So when the user's logged in, they can access these things. Let's go back home. So here we are. So you can choose what you want to do first. First we have this here, list of all the books in the library, and you can search this list just by doing Control F. So America's Other Army. So if this ever got really long, you could do a search, just with what's built in with the browser. Let's see. So you also have authors. This is all the authors that are in the library at the moment. So we got 3 authors. Genres, all the genres that are present. Publishers, all the publishers that have books in the library. So let's look here. You can look at a book show page. So it lists all the information and whether the book has been read and which user owns the book. So let's see. If I try to edit this book, it says you can't do it because this book doesn't belong to you. Log in as the person who owns it. So let's go back. Same if you try to delete it. Yes, you can't do anything with it. So let's go back. So we want to. I'm going to close the door because my dogs are barking. Give me a second. Shh, quiet. So I really don't want to restart this because this is my third time trying to do this video. So let's see. So if you want to create a new book, let's just say like the newest book. No, because it's a new book. I haven't finished reading it. You can choose an existing author, but let's make a new one because you'll see why in a second. So like Jimbo. Actually, let's do like Jim. This is a autobiography. Jimbo, a life of controversy. Jimbo's Books Incorporated. See, it's funny because my name's Jim, and that's why this is hilarious. 1 second. So let's just say it's a brand new book, 2017, and new genre, autobiography. So create the new book. Cool. So all new things. So see, the new user is the owner here. It's by Jimbo. Jimbo has his own author page. He has his own publisher page, Jimbo's Books Incorporated. These are all the things that are associated with it. Genres. See, these are all the things that are associated with the autobiography genre. And now, if I wanted to edit this book, I can. Wait, before we do that, let's see if let's show that there are the input validation for this. If you try to create a book that has, without filling any of this stuff out, you're going to throw an error. What's kind of an error is basically I built it in so that you'd get notifications on what you did or didn't do, what you still need to do. So let's say you made a book name like Jimbo, an alternative history. Let me see. Say create a new, so do all that stuff. Let's say we just choose a genre. You'll get different errors now. So like all those things. So you did those things and it's great, but then it says, oh, you forgot to do all these things. So, and also if you try to do something like select a new author and also select an existing author and also create a new author, etc., etc. So like Mission 93, let's do all this. Good book. You'll get different, let's see if you try to do this with two different publishers too. Get different kinds of errors. So you can't, since there can only be one author per book, one publisher per book, you have a little issue here. It says, so it tells you what you're doing wrong and why the book wasn't created. Now I know that you can, in real life, there can be more than one author, but if it's a book that was worked on by two different authors or three different authors, that group of authors would have to be entered in as a new author, as an author in and of itself. So cool. So we have all of that. Let's look at some of the edit functions. Jimbo, A Life of Controversy. Now let's just take a look at all these authors things. So we got Jimbo there, we got autobiography, we got publishers. So all these things are here, and they've been added to the index pages for all the different models. We'll see, and you'll see why I'm showing you that in a second. Let's say you're like, oh no, this book, this isn't by. This wasn't done by Jimbo's Books Incorporated. It's actually done by someone else. The Jimbo Press. So yeah, it's a completely different publisher, and it's still by Jimbo. So let's just keep it like that. But it was a political science book. It wasn't an autobiography book. So let's do this. Cool. So book successfully edited. We get this flash message here. So we got the new publisher and everything. So let's check out genres. The autobiography genre is gone. It's because there are no more books in the autobiography genre in this entire library. So the genre is automatically deleted. So this was the political science book, so it wouldn't be in here. Let's go back. Political science. So here it is. It's got updated Jimbo, A Life of Controversy, the Jimbo Press. Was there something else? Yeah. Jimbo Press. Yeah. See, but so the Jimbo Press has been changed, but it's not the same object as the Jimbo, as the previous publisher, like Jimbo's Books Inc. It's a completely new one. So the old object was deleted and this new one was created here. And then here we have the book is still here. But say I wanted to delete it. So this book hasn't been read. So you hit delete book. So the book successfully deleted. You'll see it's no longer in the books. And on top of that, you'll see that the author is gone. Jimbo, the author is gone. It didn't have its own genre anymore, but if you look here, it's not in the genres. The book, the author, publisher is not in this genres page anymore. But with publishers, there's no more the Jimbo Press here. So you can add, and it's also worth mentioning that this has uses bcrypt to encrypt passwords. So you have this here, like password digest. So that's pretty neat. So you can see, normally you'd never want to keep passwords on a database without encrypting them like this. So that's what this does. So it doesn't store the password as just a plain text. Well, it's plain text, but it doesn't store the password on the database the way other items are stored in a database. It's encrypted. So there's pretty much it. It took me about a week to throw this together. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Just ironed out some of the kinks this morning. So when you try to go home, another thing is, like, if you try to navigate to the main page again, it just, like the login page again, it redirects you here to your own page, and you can't go back to it unless you log out, which kind of makes sense. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty proud of how this turned out. Doesn't have any styling, but I mean, I can always add that later. The code itself, I feel like the code's a little bit smelly, but like it's a little bit repetitive here and there. I wasn't sure how to go about. That doesn't matter really for the purposes of this demonstration. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and hope you get a kick out of using this product as much fun as I had making it. So thanks.